Imagine for a second that you are standing on a ledge. But, I mean, we're not talking about a window ledge on, the second floor of a house.
No.
We aren't even talking about the roof of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
You are thousands of feet in the air.
The scale is just impossible to comprehend.
It is. And the wind isn't just blowing, it's screaming.
Yeah.
It's tearing at your clothes, trying to peel you right off the wall. And below you, it's not a drop, it's an abyss.
A vertical world, just layers and layers of city falling away into darkness.
Exactly. Into a place where the sun probably hasn't hit the ground in centuries.
Yeah.
And you're not a superhero. You don't have a magic cape. And you're not a wizard. You're a kid.
A street Nick.
A street Nick. The local slang for, what, a street urchin? A thief? Your name is Tom, and you are clinging to the skin of Thaiburley, the city of 100 rows. Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
And today we are scaling the massive vertiginous heights of Ian Watts's City of Dreams and Nightmare.
That title really says it all, doesn't it?
It does. It tells you everything about the setting because it's so literal. It is a city of dreams and nightmares stacked right on top of each other.
The class struggle is architecture.
It's architecture, exactly. You have the City of Dreams up top, the wealthy levels, the residences basking in the sun and fresh air, and then miles below, buried in the roots of this mountain city, you have the City of Nightmare.
The city below.
Shrouded in smog, poverty, and just perpetual twilight.
And that's where our protagonist, Tom, is from. He's from the gutter, basically, a member of the Blue Claw gang. But he's not climbing this impossible height just for the thrill.
No, he's on a mission. It's a classic heist, really, but with this high fantasy twist.
It's a very high fantasy twist. He's after something called a demon's egg.
Which, sounds like something you should probably leave alone.
Definitely not on my shopping list.
Yeah.
But what I love about this opening is the motivation behind it all.
Right. It's not just about status in the gang, though that's part of it. He wants to prove he can do what no one else dares.
But the real reason,
He's trying to impress a girl. Jasmina.
it grounds the whole insane story immediately. He's not trying to save the world. He's a teenage boy with a crush.
But here's the kicker. This is where the story grabs you. The heist goes wrong.
But not in the way you'd think. He doesn't trip an alarm. He doesn't get caught red-handed with the egg.
He gets caught seeing something he was never, ever meant to see.
He witnesses a murder among the city's absolute elite. And that one moment turns this, simple smash and grab into a conspiracy that threatens to unravel the entire city.
It's the perfect inciting incident.
So today our mission is to unpack this first section of the book. We're going to dive into the complex social layers of Thaiburley, break down the corrupt systems of law and this kind of bizarre bureaucratic magic they have.
And trace the intersecting paths of three very different characters. Tom the thief, Tylus, who is just a complete fraud of a guard, and a truly terrifying assassin named Dwar.
Let's start at the very top then. The scene of the crime.
Okay, so Tom has climbed all night. He's exhausted. His fingers are bleeding. He finally makes it to the residences. These are the high-end academic levels.
And he thinks he's invisible.
Yeah.
He's got this mantra he uses, right?
You can't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is our first little hint that Tom might be more than just a regular kid. He treats it like a psychological trick, a litany to convince himself he's part of the stone.
And it usually works. People just, their eyes slide right off him. So he's hiding, and he's watching two men on a balcony. Academics.
And in this world, academics are not just professors. They're the wizards, the scientists. They control everything.
The ruling class.
Absolutely. So we have Magnus, who's older, ambitious. You can feel the power coming off him. And Thomas, who is younger and seems to be having like a crisis of conscience.
They're arguing about a woman named Serena, but also about questions. Thomas is asking too many questions.
And in a place like Thaiburley, curiosity is apparently a fatal flaw.
It is for Thomas. The violence is... It's shocking because it's so quick. Magnus doesn't argue. He doesn't try to persuade him.
He just stabs him, and then with this terrifying calmness, almost like he's just, discarding a piece of trash, he pushes him over the edge.
Into the void.
Into the void. And this is where the city geography becomes so horrifying. In our world, a body falling is a tragedy. In Thaiburley, a body falling from that height. It's an event. The book calls it sky bounty.
That phrase gave me chills. Sky bounty.
Oh.
It sounds so commercial.
Because it is. It implies that the falling dead are a resource. They're scavenged by spill dragons, these giant carrion lizards on the city walls, and rats, and eventually the people below.
It just establishes how cheap life is in this city. You're either a consumer at the top or you are quite literally consumed on the way down.
That is the perfect way to put it. But before Thomas even begins his long fall, Magnus spots Tom.
And this is so crucial. Tom is doing his invisible thing, whispering the mantra, but Magnus looks right at him.
Which suggests Magnus has some kind of, I don't know, arcane perception, something beyond normal sight. He cuts right through Tom's cover, and he doesn't just see him, he speaks to him. He uses a command voice.
Right, he yells, "Stop," and Tom just freezes, like his muscles lock up against his will.
Exactly, and this is the moment that changes everything. Magnus's voice carries this authority that's basically a magical compulsion. But, and this is the key, Tom fights it. He forces his legs to move. He breaks the command.
Which should be impossible for a streetnik.
Shouldn't be possible for anyone, according to the academics. It means Tom has some kind of latent power, a mental resilience that Magnus finds threatening.
So now Magnus doesn't just need to kill a witness.
No, now he's fascinated. He's threatened by this anomaly, this kid who can say no to a god.
So Tom runs. He's just sprinting for his life, and he runs smack into a member of the Kite Guard.
The city's elite aerial police.
And this is our introduction to Tylus. And oh boy, we are going to talk about Tylus. But for now, he's just an obstacle.
They struggle. Tom takes a swipe with his knife. He slashes Tylus's cape. And then
he falls off the side of the city.
Which should be the end of the book. 10,000 feet, easy.
I was reading this thinking, okay, how does he survive? Does he grab a dragon? Does he sprout wings? No.
He gets caught in the net.
By the swarbs.
Yeah.
The sanitation workers and refuse burners.
The swarbs. I love the swarbs.
They are fantastic. They live on the wall on these crazy platforms, and they literally fish for trash that rich people throw off their balconies.
It's such a brilliant piece of world building. A whole ecological niche. They harvest the sky.
And they catch Tom. But their reaction is just... it's so darkly funny. They aren't happy to save a life. They're annoyed.
They seriously debate throwing him back.
It's just a street nick. Toss him. That line is so cold.
But it shows the social stratification again. To the swarbs, who are already low on the ladder, someone from the city below is worthless. He's literal bycatch. He's trash that they can't even sell.
But they spare him, basically because it's too much of a hassle to clean up the mess he'd make on their lower platforms.
A very pragmatic kind of mercy.
So Tom survives. Barely. But let's rewind and go back up to the penthouse, because Magnus is in full damage control mode.
Magnus is a senior academic, you see. He's gunning for a promotion to the Council of Masters. He cannot have a murder scandal.
So he does what powerful people do. He frames the little guy. The streetnik becomes the killer.
But he still needs to find Tom, so he brings in a specialist. And this is where we meet the real antagonists. First up, there's Duor.
Duor is the factotum, which is a very polite, corporate-sounding title for a monster.
He's a former assassin, incredibly competent, and seems to genuinely enjoy inflicting pain. Magnus sends him to hunt Tom in the shadows. He's the scalpel.
And then there's Tylus, the Kite Guard who let Tom escape. He's not a scalpel.
Tylus is more like a rusty bent spoon. He's tragic, in a way, but he's so annoying.
He's from a rich family. He's been groomed for the Guard his whole life, but deep down he knows he's a fraud. He has this crushing imposter syndrome.
And he keeps proving himself right. He lets a kid with a knife slash his cape, which is his means of flight. It's his whole status symbol.
That is just a massive public failure. His boss, Sergeant Goss, grounds him. He has to wear a plain cape, no flying.
It's the ultimate humiliation in front of his peers. He's been de-winged.
But then Magnus steps in. He promotes Tylus. He puts this incompetent, disgraced guard in charge of the official investigation.
And this is just a genius move by Magnus.
Why? Why would he do that?
Because Tylus is a useful idiot. Magnus knows Tylus will be loud, he'll be clumsy, he'll go down to the city below, wave his badge, make a lot of noise, and draw all the attention.
He's a distraction, a big, noisy decoy.
Exactly. While everyone is watching the bumbling cop, Duor, the real threat, can slip in unnoticed and get the job done.
That is just devious. It really shows you how Magnus sees other people. They're just pieces on a board.
Tools to be used and discarded.
Can we talk about the kite capes for a second? Are they magic or are they tech? The book is a little vague.
And I think that's on purpose. The academics treat it as science, aerodynamics, alchemy, geometry. But to everyone else, and I think deep down even to Tylus, it feels like magic.
The fact that it takes weeks to repair a simple slash suggests it's more than just sewing.
Right. There's some kind of arcane recharging involved. It's that classic sci-fi idea where any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
So you have Tylus heading down, Duor heading down, and Tom is already on his way. Let's talk about that journey. Tom uses the Swarm's access to a huge escalator.
An escalator that is clearly ancient technology. It's described as going dormant, as breathing, having organic membranes.
And it's guarded by a giant cyclops.
Yeah. The detail is so cool. It suggests the city isn't just a building. It's like a living organism or a machine that's grown biological parts over centuries. It's an ecosystem.
And this escalator takes him down through the layers. You see the world change. From the clean residences to the bustling market row, and finally into the cavern of the city below.
Let's really paint a picture of that place. The environment down there is just oppressive. You've got the river, the Thayer, which isn't water, it's industrial sludge.
You've got the Stain, which is a literal toxic wasteland of garbage, and the runs, the shanty towns, where people live crammed together.
And it's an economy built on poverty. Everything has a price. Even just moving around costs you.
Which Tom finds out immediately. He runs into the Blood Herons, a rival gang, and they control the bottom of the stairwell. You have to pay a toll just to walk down the stairs.
And this fight is so great because it shows Tom's character. He's not a trained warrior. He doesn't have an honorable duel.
No, he fights like a cornered animal.
He does. He throws dirt in their eyes. He kicks them in the groin. It's dirty, it's pragmatic, and it's what keeps him alive. It's such a contrast to the kind of formal combat you imagine the guards up top would use.
So Tom makes it to the bottom, but he's in enemy territory. And this is where the story suddenly injects this sci-fi element that I was not expecting. He wanders into a neighborhood of the Gerardine.
The Flatheads. Bipedal, reptilian aliens.
Aliens. In the middle of this fantasy city.
Yeah.
I just love when genres smash together like that.
It adds such a rich texture to the world. And the Gerardine have these translator boxes at their throats to speak human languages.
Yeah.
They have this very bizarre biological quirk.
Or the Kaibol.
The Kite They excrete a substance that,
Yeah.
well,
It's their poop. Let's just say it. It's their waste.
it is, yes. It's literally their bodily waste. But it hardens into this beautiful, intricate crystal.
And the rich humans in the city above buy it as high art. They put it on their mantles.
Rich people paying fortunes for alien poop sculptures. If that isn't a biting piece of social commentary, I don't know what is.
It's brilliant. But here we meet Taijin. He's a Gerardine artist, but he's clearly more than that. Tom sees him communicating on a hidden screen with a mysterious old human.
Which immediately implies there's a resistance movement or a conspiracy. Taijin isn't just an immigrant artist, he's an operative.
And he helps Tom. He introduces him to Kat.
And Kat is an incredible character. She's a renegade streetnik, she's a solo act, doesn't run with a gang.
She's well-dressed, dual-wields knives, and has this fearsome reputation for surviving the pits.
Which sound like some kind of gladiatorial death match for children. It's so dark.
It is. It just hints at this whole other brutal underworld. And Taijin bribes Kat to guide Tom home safely.
With a magnificent Kite sculpture of the city itself.
A crystal city to guide him through the real one. It's very poetic. But Tom and Kat, they don't exactly hit it off. She calls him kid, which really annoys him because they're basically the same age.
It's that classic dynamic. She's the hardened cynic. He's the naive kid who's just stumbled into something way over his head. She kind of looks down on him for being in a gang.
Which sounds weird, but to her, a gang is a safety net. She survived without one.
But they need each other because the whole city is starting to hunt for them.
Okay, so let's check back in with Tylus. Our useful idiot has made it to the city below. And it's going about as well as you'd imagine.
It's a total culture shock for him. He expects people to see the uniform and show respect.
Instead, they mock him. And then they steal his weapon, his puncheon.
But then, and I did not see this coming, Tylus actually fights back.
He does. He knows how to box. He uses his fists, and he actually...
In a way, makes him more dangerous. He's not just a harmless fool. He's a fool who can actually hurt people.
But he's so clueless. He's celebrating his little victory, and he has no idea that there's a sniper aiming a crossbow at his back.
And that's when we see Duar's hand at work. From the shadows, Duar just snaps the crossbowman's neck, kills him before he can fire.
He saved Tylus.
To keep the distraction alive, Tylus just walks off feeling like a big hero with absolutely no idea he was seconds from death. It's that theme again, perception versus reality. Tylus thinks he's the main character, but he's just a pawn.
He eventually finds the local watch, the cops, and this is where he learns about the systemic corruption.
The Watch don't fight the gangs. They have an arrangement. It's a protection racket, basically. The gangs extort shopkeepers, and the police look the other way because it keeps the peace.
Tylus is horrified. His whole black and white worldview is just crumbling. and he gets partnered with Richardson, this little runt of an officer.
So you have the two biggest rejects in the force working the biggest case in the city.
It's a great setup. But while they're bumbling around, Dewar's doing the real work. And by work, I mean psychological torture.
The scene with the captured guard is so chilling. He nabs a corrupt watch officer who might know where Tom's gang hides out, and he doesn't beat him. It's much worse.
Explain this, because it is just diabolical.
He ties the guard to a chair. He lets a hungry spill dragon, one of those man-eating lizards, into the room. Then he pours a circle of strongly scented oil around the chair.
And he tells the guard the lizard hates the smell, so as long as he doesn't move and the smell doesn't fade.
He's safe. Then he just leaves him there. For hours. Staring at this monster, terrified to even breathe too hard, just waiting.
By the time Dewar comes back, the guard is a wreck. Completely broken, without a single mark on him.
And just to be sure, Dewar threatens his daughter. It just establishes the stakes. Tylus is playing a game. Dewar is a predator.
And this leads us to the hunt proper. Because now, it's not just the authorities looking for Tom. The entire city is turning against him.
Right. Kat and Tom are moving through the streets and they see something impossible. Rival gangs, the Blood Herons and the Thunderheads, who are mortal enemies, working together.
That is a huge red flag. Street gangs are territorial. They don't cooperate.
Not unless there is a massive external pressure. It means someone, Magnus, is pouring money down from the heights, buying every loyalty, mobilizing the entire underworld to find one boy.
And then, as if that's not enough, the monsters show up.
Yeah.
The demon hounds.
And these are not just big dogs, they're bioengineered killing machines. The book says they have fistfuls of razors for paws.
And they're controlled by someone called the Maker, or Incent.
Who is a cyborg living in the polluted river, patched into the city's systems. This is where it gets really cyberpunk.
He's seeing through their eyes. They're his remote-controlled weapons.
He treats them like assets. When one is damaged, he's annoyed about the loss of equipment, not the death of a living thing. It's so cold.
The fight with a hound is just brutal. Tom jumps on its back and stabs it in the shoulder, which does basically nothing.
It's a great reality check. You can't kill a monster with a pocket knife by stabbing it in a big muscle. Kat is smarter, she goes for the soft spots, but even she's outmatched.
Until Tom remembers what he stole. Or what he grabbed on his way out. The demon dust.
From the heist supplies. He just shoves his hand in his pocket and finds it.
He throws it, and the hound just... it convulses and dies instantly.
Which brings up so many questions. What is that dust? Is it a poison? Is it magic? Or is it something else?
What do you mean?
Well, if these hounds are biotech, maybe the dust isn't poison. Maybe it's like an EMP. Maybe it's a code that disrupts their connection to the Maker.
Oh, that's a cool theory. Like analog hacking? You're throwing a virus at a cyborg dog?
Exactly. But the hounds aren't the only thing Tom has a strange power over. We finally get confirmation about his invisibility.
This is such a great moment. They're trapped in an alley. Another hound is closing in. No escape.
And Tom just grabs Kat, pulls her into a corner, and starts reciting his mantra, "You can't see me. You can't see me."
And the hound comes right up to them. It's sniffing the air. It's inches away from their faces. And he just turns around and leaves.
It confirms it. Tom isn't just lucky or good at hiding. He has a genuine psychic ability to cloud perception. He can literally edit himself out of what people and creatures are seeing.
But remember, it didn't work on the Geraldine. On Tygen.
Which is a fantastic detail. It implies his power has limits. It targets a specific kind of biology, a certain brain structure. The alien mind is just too different for his trick to work on.
Kat is, understandably, terrified. She realizes she's traveling with someone who can literally will himself invisible. That changes everything.
It does. Suddenly, the kid she was protecting isn't a liability. He's the most dangerous person she's ever met.
They escape over the rooftops to break the scent trail. We get this cool parkour sequence where Kat is all grace and Tom's just clumsy desperation. But they start to bond. They find a boarded-up room to hide in.
And in that quiet moment, the truth finally comes out. They get a chance to breathe. And they talk about simple things, like whether there are bakers on Tanner's Row. It makes them feel like real kids.
And then Tom tells her everything. The climb, the murder, the Kite Guard, all of it.
And he finally reveals the MacGuffin, the demon's egg.
He tells her what he was sent to steal. But for me, the most interesting part of the confession is why he did it. He admits it wasn't just for Jasnina.
He says, "I wanted to see it."
That line just stuck with me. He wanted to see the world above.
It's that universal yearning for something more. The city of dreams was calling to him, even if it turned out to be a nightmare. He's not just a thief. He's a dreamer. He wanted to know if the stories were true.
Okay, so let's recap where we are as we get to the end of this deep dive. Tom and Kat are in hiding. They're hurt, but they're alive.
Pylus and his new partner Richardson are closing in, using actual police work, surprisingly. Duar has informants everywhere and is hunting methodically.
And we have the wild cards. Incent, the cyborg in the river, now knows about Tom's power because he saw the Hound lose him. And Taijin, the alien, is pulling strings in the shadows with some mysterious contact.
It's a powder keg ready to go off.
It really is. You have these high fantasy elements, magic dust, demon eggs, a vertical city crashing right into gritty noir and cyberpunk, corruption, surveillance, cyborgs.
And the central mystery is still there. Why does Magnus want Tom alive? Duar's orders were specific. Dead is acceptable, alive is preferred. Why preferred?
I think it goes back to that moment on the balcony, Tom resisting the command voice.
I think so too. Magnus doesn't see a witness. He sees a specimen. If a gutter rat has this innate power to cloud minds and resist an academic's will, he's a threat to their entire social order.
Their whole system is built on the idea that they are superior. Tom is living proof that they're not.
He's a glitch in their matrix. He's proof that power can come from anywhere, and that is a terrifying thought for a man like Magnus.
And we still don't know what the demon's egg is. Is it a weapon? A power source? An actual egg?
Or the bigger picture that Jaredane mentioned. Why are aliens getting involved in the city's dirty politics?
It suggests that this isn't just about a murder. Thaiburley is a chessboard for forces that are much, much bigger than gangs and guards.
The humans are all fighting for control of the board, while the aliens and the cyborgs might be playing an entirely different game.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. You have a city built, literally, on layers of lies and garbage. And you have a kid from the very bottom who discovers he has the power to make himself invisible to the powerful.
It poses a huge question. If you can't be seen, do the laws still apply to you? And if they don't, what do you become? Do you become a hero, exposing the rot? Or do you just become another monster operating in the dark?
And is that demon dust? Is it a weapon, or is it actually a key to something?
My guess is it's something far more complicated and dangerous than just a simple poison.
This story really asks you to look at the structure of things, to find the hidden connections between the penthouse and the pavement, because usually the stuff that's flowing downhill, well, it isn't water.
And the people at the bottom often know a lot more about the foundation than the people living at the top.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the vertical madness of Thaiburley. Keep climbing, but maybe don't look down.
And watch out for the spill dragons.
See you next time.